What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We just got back from Charlotte, North Carolina. Previous episode showed some of the insanity of hanging out with my friend Mark and driving some cars in his wild collection. So if you haven't seen that episode yet, jump back and watch some of the wild dream cars that we get a chance to drive. But my friend Ben Walker from England is still here. Sweet tea, southern food.
Love it.
Today, I think we are going to dive into the 1000 SP. Since he's into cars, definitely check out his channel as well. He's into cars. He's building a Cummins-powered square body Chevy in England right now. Check out his channel. It's Ain't Dead Yet Garage. So I think what today we're going to do is I think we're going to separate the body off this frame. I'm jumping in a little head first on this because I don't know where I'm going to ultimately put things. I don't really have a spot dedicated for the frame yet. I don't really have a spot dedicated for the body yet. That might go over here in the corner. But while he's here, it'd be fun to work on a project together, as every time he's come over in the past for H2O, we've basically just jumped in the car or the truck and headed to Maryland and just cruised around for a weekend. We haven't had a chance to actually tinker on something. I think we might just dive in and start taking some bolts out, unplugging some harnesses, cutting some wires, see how far we get. I think what we're going to do first is kind of go through the engine bay and kind of unhook anything that's obvious as the body comes up and off the frame. Any harnesses or hoses to the heater box. Obviously lots of wiring. Some of this stuff I don't need to save, so it'll be rather quick just trying to cut this stuff up and get it off. But at first glance, it looks like there's plenty of room from the body. All this in here stays. This is the transverse leaf stack that also holds the radiator and the steering rack on the back. Got some heater lines here. Linkage, shift linkage is already unhooked, so I don't have to touch that. Steering column will have to get separated. Pedal cluster, because the pedals come up into the body and then they obviously mount to the frame. So we can do all that from underneath. But what we'll do now is just kind of like unhook some stuff in the engine bay. So we've got most of what we can find unhooked. Some of this stuff stays right on the body. We can unhook stuff at the starter because that'll all stay with the body. You guys are going to see this firsthand with Ben and I because neither of us have ever pulled a body off an Auto Union 1000 SP before. But I've got a couple books showing what the frames look like without the bodies on them. And it's almost like a beetle coming off a pan. So since I've just done that, this shouldn't be too hard.
Tell you what, that's aggressive.
You gotta feather that. So as I've mentioned in previous episodes, I toiled time and time again over keeping this thing Auto Union powered. And that's why I bought the 62 with the numerous extra engines, thinking that I was going to try to keep this thing 3-cylinder, 2-stroke powered. Would still love to do that, but with the Beetle pan underneath it, with the Beetle motor, I'll be able to buy parts in the future and not have to worry about scouring the earth for Auto Union parts. So this is a little sore. To be taking this thing up and basically selling the frame and the motor because these things sound so cool. And the fact that it's a German front-wheel drive 3-cylinder 2-stroke car is really cool in my opinion. But alas, it's not the way we're going to go with the 1960. We've kind of gotten a bunch of stuff unhooked. We got a couple major coolant lines out on both sides of the heater box. We got speedo cable undone, which Ben worked on for quite a while, getting like a minuscule little cotter pin out, and then it just snapped anyway. He got the guide loosened up, and then got the cotter pin out. When he went to pull it out, it snapped. Got starter solenoid wiring unhooked. Got the blower motor out, which is real crazy looking. It's this torpedo looking thing, and I never would have known it was a blower motor until I saw the wires going into it. But as you can see here, it's got a fan in there. Kind of see. I'm working on the generator lines because that goes into a harness onto the body. We've got a pinch bolt out on the steering column here. We've got that pinch bolt out, but the problem is that fine splined steering column has to pull out, which means I got to undo a bunch of stuff inside the car. What I'd rather do is get some of these folded over security washers or safety washers folded back and unbolt 2 of the bolts off the steering column flange. So all we have to do is lift the body straight up. Don't have to mess with the column. So what I think I'm going to do is crawl into the dash, because the 6 bolts that hold the actual heater box on, they're a through bolt and they're just spinning. So I might have to get underneath while Ben loosens them on from the outside, get that box off, and that'll give us some more leverage to hammer those safety washers flat, because there's really no room to work in there. Do you ever think you're going to be working on one of these cars?
I've never seen one in my life. I didn't even know they were a thing. I knew before Audi was Audi. I knew of
Auto Union.
Auto Union, but I'd never thought they built anything remotely like this. I thought they were just like really little sort of, you know, like K cars, like
Right.
like the really old.
Kind of like the 700. Those little
Yeah,
micro
like that
cars.
sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
or like the Lada.
Insane. And the whole drivetrain setup is just so crazy.
Yeah, the fact it's got a 2-stroke, 3-cylinder.
3-cylinder, 2-stroke.
3-cylinder 2-stroke. Like the back end. I can't believe
The
the
fins?
fins.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's a German car.
Yeah, exactly. They call him a baby Thunderbird for a reason, and that's exactly why.
Yeah.
It emulates a 57 Thunderbird. What are your feelings about this thing being, as you would say, sat on the floor?
On the floor, definitely. I mean, that arch.
Yeah.
Because when that's there, think about how much wheel is actually going to be like visible
Yeah.
in this part. You literally have.
Yep.
It'll look absolutely ridiculous. And these fins, like this back end, when it's right down, will just look absolutely unbelievable.
It's a big world out there, and there's a lot of people, but I'm pretty confident in saying that no one's body dropped and bagged an Auto Union 1000 SP before.
Yeah, well, like I say, I haven't even seen one.
Yeah.
Mine body dropped.
And we would have seen one if one
Yeah.
was bagged.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'd know if there was another one.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
anybody was going to know, it'd be people like us.
Yeah. All right, so we got these lock safety washers hammered down flat so we could get the bolts out, because we decided not to mess with trying to get this spline section out and undo everything under the dash for now. But it was hard to get in here with anything to hammer this way, because they were rolled over real tight. So we got the heater box out of the way and got the safety washers laid flat and the cotter pins out of the bottom side. And now they're loosened up quite well.
Small cars. There you go.
Got it. We're going to put up in the air next. But we're taking a coffee break because my good friend Christian swung by with his brother.
I haven't seen you since Florida.
The last time you saw Christian on this channel was Eurotripper in Fort Myers, putting around in the Mark II. It was not in his plan to swing by, but he was in the area and said, hey, you going to be around? Ben and I are working on the Auto Union, so got a chance to have a coffee at 9 o'clock at night and chill on their way through. Yep.
I just want to say I was judged on this cup of coffee.
On how much sugar is in it?
Listen. I don't know, we'll do a poll on your channel in the comments below.
Yeah.
Black coffee versus, I like mine almost like milk.
Well, mildly sweet is still an option.
I like
There is a lot of sugar in his coffee, to be fair.
I can't do black coffee.
Jump
I've tried.
started
I'm not strong enough for that.
The polls in the comment section was going to be a little bit different, but apparently black coffee.
Wait, you have one already?
No. We haven't gone there yet. So we're going here now.
Okay.
Black coffee or extra.
Yeah, no in between. No like middle ground. Like
Yeah,
black
just-
coffee or all the sugar.
Do you like extra or black coffee? Below.
Yeah, I think I'll win this.
Yeah, I'd say more people.
Probably.
Yeah, I think the age demographic that watches these videos probably likes cream and sugar in their coffee.
Everyone likes
Put the hood down. Get some light in there.
Yeah, that's why I left it.
Oh, this is a gnarly project though.
Yeah.
And when's the debut for this car? Or like give a
I'd like it to be
Helen?
next May. Alpine Volkswagen.
Like
Yeah, it's an Audi.
that. Yeah.
Pre-VAG merger, you know. I'd like to not be on the timeline. I'd like to just have this thing be done right the first time.
Well, listen, you heard it here first. Alpine Volkswagen. It'll be there.
Oh.
Say it. Say the words.
Lock it in.
I'm gonna try my hardest.
John said it'll be there.
Yeah, I don't know how these things come off, but we're gonna start taking bolts off and see what happens.
You gotta retighten it real fast. You do this
Yeah, that one came loose.
No way.
No PV
2 out of
flaps.
3. We got one more to go. They don't look good, but they're coming out good.
Oh, I think it's-
full blown miracle.
Nice. And that's no PB blaster, no cleaner, nothing. That's just.
I told Ben we were going in dry.
That is raw dogging.
I kind of want this to be a sign
Yeah.
that anything else we touch is going to come out real nice.
Oh, that's a good start.
Easier.
Look
Look at that. First piece off. First body piece
Zero
off.
stripped balls.
This is how you replace a starter in an Auto Union 1000 SP. You take this inner wheel out, and their starter's right
Nice
there.
and easy to get.
It's crazy how that one little panel hides so much stuff. You can see the intake manifold better and
Everything.
your throttle linkage. How crazy is that? This one might have
I
stripped.
was going to say that didn't sound too.
Dude, it's coming. That one I thought it jinxed myself on the last
definitely
one.
Sounded like it.
Well, if you look at the inside, you can see where the nuts are welded on, but they're clean.
All right.
There we go.
And now you can get to your generator. And check this out. See all these? These are coolant lines. It doesn't have a water pump. So the car doesn't have a water pump. All the water lines go to the back of this generator, and the generator sends it through the lines.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought it was air cooled. Because how the top is set up,
Yeah, but you saw the radiator, right?
Yeah.
that is true. We talked about all this. I don't know. We were talking about Beetle.
These front mounts are double nutted, and you can't really get like a deep socket onto them. So with a straddle socket and locking the wrench on the top nut, I was able to get the bottom one off. But now the question is, can I get the top one off without getting an impact on it to just zip it off?
RIP headphone users on that. Well, it's out.
Yep, and the body will do the rest when we pick the body up. We'll lock this top nut. Yep. Hopefully I can fit this in the cage up there. Here we go. Yeah, okay, so the bumper rips do have to come off because there's a bolt that goes through this fender to this end, and then the main mount mounts to the frame head here. So these do have to come out. Come on. You don't need to film this nonsense.
Oh no, this is the
this
good
is-
stuff.
this is the good
This is
stuff.
what everyone wants.
This is what people want to see.
Oh, don't do that. Oh,
No. It's annoying.
Here she goes.
Boom.
The roasted one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nearly took you for a ride there.
yeah. I'm glad we can get an impact on this one because I just want to zip it right off. Setting 3.
Well, that was easy.
It didn't.
Water.
It literally didn't go
Even
anywhere.
fight, it didn't even fight.
The front ones are like spinning the rust that it was mounted to. It just. Hopefully the other side does the same.
Yeah.
Done. We got lucky on those ones, but the ones that scare me are the back ones because there's like air around them, which
Yeah.
means I think that whole floor is
That
gonna
entire
spin
part
a
of the floor will just come off, I think.
little. Yeah. I need a shorter 17 mil. I'm gonna try to rotate it. All right, dude.
right here, man.
Safe drive back.
We'll
to
be
farm.
back for sure.
We'll see you at Turkey Rod Run in
Yeah.
Daytona in a month.
And we'll see that in Helen in May.
One can only hope.
How many months is that? 6, 5?
I got 7 months.
Plenty of time.
It's a lot of work.
Plenty
we'll
of
see.
time. It's almost done now. You got this.
I appreciate it,
All right, man. Appreciate it, buddy.
Safe drive home.
Thank you.
See ya. All right, so Christian and his brother are headed off to Florida. We're here at the back. We've got all the body bolts loose all the way to the back. And working on these ones here, these two. And as you can see, I've worked on getting this safety washer rolled over. So there's like a safety flat stock piece with a basically safety washer on it. And got that rolled back on one, gonna hammer it back on this other one and see if those bolts will come free. And I think that's it. It's those two. And then we gotta cut a
Oh man, it's definitely too late.
this one holds.
Yeah,
Wow,
fall.
beautiful. I'll try to get out of the way so you can. What's happening? My
The
stance.
stance.
Look at that.
That was nice.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
I love that. So it is. That's it for mounts. We've got all the mounts out now. We're going to drop the car down and take a look inside under the dash. What's involved in getting the pedal cluster separated. I think the pedal cluster stays with the frame, much like the Volkswagen Beetle Pan. So we got the rubber mat pulled back, but this is the plate that we take out, and this will allow the body to come up over the actual pedals, since it doesn't look like they unbolt from the levers that go down to the frame. And other than the speedo cable, I think this is basically it. The throttle cable still has something hooked up to it. We'll get it in the air,
Yeah, never look underneath.
and we'll be able to figure out what it looks like on the backside. So it's much like a Mercedes. The throttle is no cable. It's all linkage.
Right.
So as you can see, there's a cotter pin right there on the throttle linkage.
That looks fun to get out.
Throttle cable's off, and then you got the speedo cable loosened up.
Yeah, it was pretty much finger tight, so.
Fantastic, because we couldn't get anything in there. It looks like you can see all 6 points on that, but you can't get anything in there for
You
leverage.
can't.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go.
Hopefully it stays moving. I see a little bit of space.
The bolt, the nut is moving separate to the cable.
Yeah,
which
that's
is the main
what we
thing.
want. Got it. Line is off. Here, this side right here.
There you
So
go.
this was, I think that was our last bit, dude. I think this thing's about ready to come off.
I'd have said so.
We've got space between mounts.
Yep. You can see the car's coming off the frame. It's definitely moving.
It hasn't been off the frame since 1960, 1959. What looks like it's real tight? Steering rack. Yep, we didn't pull that bolt.
Yeah.
We didn't pull those bolts. We did not pull those bolts.
That'll do it.
Yep, there we go. She's out. All right.
Let's try that again.
Yep,
Yeah. Yep.
that looks better.
That's better.
Now that pan's probably catching. Yeah, it's catching on the generator. Oh, we're picking the rear up. Ugh, it's separated.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh my gosh. I forgot that we had the broom handle holding the hood up. I was like, why is there so much pressure on that?
Nice.
All right, so Ben's in the car. Basically what's happening is the pedal cluster comes into the car and bends back. So now that we're picking the body up, it's catching on the pedals and they're seized right up. So Ben was able to break the clutch pedal free, and that's basically beyond the body. And the reason why we can't just roll the frame forward is the rear body studs are still inside their hole. We haven't gotten the back up high enough to get the studs out. So Ben's gonna kind of feather it as I go up with the body, and with some pry bars and some finessing, we should be able to break this thing free. Yep, studs are free. So
Studs are out, so we'll see if we can move the frame now.
Let's see. So let me go down with the body, just a smidgen. The back will stay up. We got
Yeah,
plenty
the
of room
back.
in the front.
The back's got the jack under it now, so. Yep. Fighting with a bolt for 10 minutes.
All right, so while Ben's under there, this was the key. I got the main big bolt for the pedal cluster out, which means we were able to loosen up the pedals enough to get the clutch pedal out from the hole of the firewall. When you push the brake pedal in all the way, it hits the transmission mount and it won't go any farther. So what we're doing now is we're taking the BrakeMaster cylinder out basically to pull it away from the rod that plunges it from the actual pedal. Because we can't roll the frame forward enough to just pull the pedal cluster through the hole in the firewall, because in the back of the body, there's a cavity space that allows for the transverse leaf stack to sit up in there. And after we kept pulling forward on the frame enough, we realized that that leaf stack was hitting the back of the body. So working out?
Yep.
All right, I think we got the plunger of the BrakeMaster free, and we are going up. You're free.
She's free.
One more.
Where the hell does that go?
We're free, dude. All right, guys. Well, it is now a two-piece car. We've got the body up. It was a fight trying to get some of the front end stuff to loosen up and kind of just figuring out what was hanging us up, not knowing what exactly was left. There were a few cables, I think some for some cabin vents and whatnot. Those were left. We just cut those because those were all bound up anyway, so there was no saving them, even if you wanted to reuse them. But it's in the air, and boy, is it cool to get a look at the whole frame of this thing. I'd seen photos of the frame layout. I knew what it looked like. Seeing it on the ground here, it's just mad.
Yeah, it's a really weird shaped frame. But yeah, I'm glad I was here to lend a hand taking it off
Yeah.
and actually be a part of it. And
This has been awesome because every time you've come over, it's been just maintenance and prep work for one of the
Yeah,
cars
yeah.
to get the H2O.
it's been good to actually like dig into something with you and
Yeah, this has been awesome.
properly wrench together.
And this is a key part of the project.
Yep.
So it's cool to like, and it wasn't like a super in-depth having to design and build something. It was just trying to get this thing
Yeah,
separated.
it
So
was like a task
Yeah.
that we both needed to figure out. And
straightforward job,
help each
basically.
other with, yeah.
Yeah, this has been awesome. So we've already done this off camera, but with one of the RSs over there. But now we're putting a Kreger up in there. All right.
John's gonna get his strong arm on.
These wheels are so heavy. All right, here we go, people. This is what we're going for.
Oh my god.
Down a little bit, or does it look pretty level? with
Yeah,
the-
it looks pretty good.
Amazing.
Yep.
Ha.
So I get it from like there.
It's gonna tuck hub in the back on his back.
Insane.
It's gonna be so crazy. All right, guys. So one giant leap forward in the whole project of the Auto Union, going down over a Beetle Pan. Super stoked to have these things apart. This is all super fascinating to me because not a lot of people can say that they've ever worked on or been around one of these cars. So I'm real eager to continue this project and kind of design everything underneath that needs to be designed to mate it to the Beetle Pan and to go super low with it, to body drop it, to bag it, to see wheels sucked up under those wheel wells and lack of wheel wells in the back here. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes on the 1000 SP coming very shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all of the support. Been stoked to finally collaborate a little bit with Ben, even though we've each kind of been in each other's episodes here and there as we've traveled to and from England to America. But it's been fun to wrench together on this. So we will see you guys in the next episode.